There was a rumor going around about some abandoned old silo that had loomed over the woods. The woods were located in the middle of the field of just dirt alongside the road tracks. Like anyone cares. It was an eerie sight with just, sitting there looming over the woods with rust trailing down the sides. Anyway, some rumored it to be haunted by like some old farmer who hung himself in the silo and takes his revenge on anyone who enters. I say this rumor is complete bullshit, especially because the ones spreading the rumor tried to back it up by saying a story of some old stupid kids who were curious and went into the silo never to come back out. Others say that the silo is just a good hiding spot where people could never find them. So with both positive and negative comments, my geek band of friends and I decided to check it out. We decided to enhance the creepiness by choosing to visit the silo on a gloomy and cloudy day. So the day came and my friends Pete, Meg, and Wes met at my house since it was along the railway. We walked along the railway, talking and laughing, having ourselves a good time, until we saw it. The silo was, of course, just sitting there, looming tall over the trees. Curious, we walked towards it as our laughter alongside with their talking died down. The closer we got to it, the colder it felt, as if there was some sort of cold, dark aura radiating from somewhere, sending shivers down our spines. Hell, Wes even let out a little yelp. We paced around the circumference of the silo, looking for an entrance of some sort. We ended up finding a ladder leading up to the silo. The rungs of the ladder were also handles to open hatches all along the side of the structure. All were locked except for one. Though it was stuck, so we had to peek climb up and open the hatch, and within a few minutes we were inside the silo. Standing on the hay left in there, the center was just a large and deep hole in the hay. It was dark, but we could hear a steady flow of air coming from the bottom. Oddly enough, there was a rope descending into the hole. Since I was the only one smart enough to actually be prepared for this, I took out my flashlight. Holding the flashlight in my mouth, I began to descend. I dropped to the bottom, scanning the small area. Everything seemed safe as I looked at the scattered hay, dirt, and also some peculiar hatch. I beckoned the others to come down. As they descended, my eyes had caught something covering the rope. The color of it was red. I hid my panic and showed the others the hatch I found. Pete opened it, revealing a dark hole. Now, the fucked up thing was that it reeked of death. It reeked of death. The others had sensed it too, and of course Wes was whimpering like a little bitch. Meg ended up gaining the courage to take my flashlight and go into the hole. We followed her and we walked through the dark tunnel for about 10 through 15 minutes until Meg had told us we reached another hatch, and she opened it. The bright light had filled the tunnel, and that's when we heard it. A piercing shriek, followed by the sounds of something running, panting hard. In a desperate attempt to avoid the creature that had made the horrific shriek, we ran. Once we were out of the tunnel, we slammed that hatch shut, attempting to lock it. The sound had stopped, and breathing a sigh of relief, all of us had observed the current surroundings. We were in a concrete block, which appeared to be an old septic tank, but with an opening at the top, and through the opening we could see the forest above. We began to climb out, and that's what happened. Again, we heard that damn sound again. Wes wasn't even out of the hole yet. Poor Wes, this creature slammed through the hatch, and a sharp and clawed hand reached out and grasped Wes's leg tight, pulling him into the tunnel. We heard his terrified screams, and then the sound stopped. We heard the sharp snapping of bones and the tearing of flesh. The rest of us were frozen in shock. The sound of Wes being killed was revolting. Meg ended up vomiting at the sound. After that, we tried to find our way out of the tinket. We searched for a way out for at least an hour, but we concluded that the forest was enclosed in a large perimeter of barbed wire fencing. We panicked, having no idea what we should do, and realizing that the thing comes out in the dark. Night was coming fast, and in a desperate panic, Meg climbed high into a tree, hoping that the thing wouldn't find her. Pete found a small hole in the ground to hide in. Bad idea. Again, we heard the shriek, and I watched the thing climb out of its home. In my panic, I quickly climbed up a tree and watched Pete sitting in the hole. And also, to my regret, I had got a better look at the creature we were facing. It was the most grotesque thing I have ever seen. Its face was mask-like, pale white against its stark skin. The face seemed to only have two dark holes for eyes and a large smile stretched across his face. After a few moments of observation, I had soon noticed that it had a mask. A mask made of Wes's skinned face. I was scared shitless that the thing was crawling towards Pete. I sat in the tree as I watched Pete run in fear, but there was no use, since the thing caught up to him instantly. It shoved both of its hands through Pete's chest and tore him apart with ease. Its chest opened up, revealing bloody tendrils that wrapped around Pete's head, tearing it off from its mutilated corpse, slowly pulling it to the empty cavity and sealing it shut. The skinned face of Wes was disintegrating and quickly replaced with a mask made of Pete with the same hollowed eyes and fucked up smile. Then it spoke in a soft and raspy voice. I am Pocket. It proceeded to crawl back into its dwelling. From the other tree, I heard Meg crying. I beckoned her to climb down as I climbed down myself, and I told her we were getting the hell out of this place alive. Hesitantly, she climbed down, and I went up to the barbed wire fence and gripped the sharp wire, spreading it wide enough for someone to climb through. My hands were bleeding, but I ignored the pain as Meg climbed through the opening. Again, the Pocket shrieked, and in my panic, I hastily crawled through the opening and cut myself up bad. Bleeding, I ran with Meg and ignored the pain, running until we reached civilization once again. 10 years have passed. Meg and I were happily married. And I say were for a reason. The same reason why I'm telling you the story today. Meg is dead. She died of death so horrible. Police were called to the scene after a couple going for a walk through the woods found her mutilated, headless corpse laying at the edge of the woods. When I say the word edge, that means that it's far from the barbed wire fence. Does it only mean that the Pocket is free from its prison? It's free. It's coming straight for me. I know it is. This is horrible. Now, I'm looking at her parents' picture to calm myself down with the happy memories. It didn't help, because in the reflection of the glass, I saw a face slowly coming towards me. Meg's face. Only it was eyeless and with that fucking terrifying smile. The Pocket is here. And it has come to take me. I feel its hands pierce through my chest, and at this moment I realize its prime motive. It killed to be free.
And I earned the privilege to be freed. I smile.